So whether or not people actually want to admit it, I think everyone is scared of something. I don't know what you're scared of, but I'm scared of quite a few things. I like to pretend like I'm not, but I am. Probably my greatest fear, the thing that I'm most scared of in life, is a meaningless life. I'm afraid that I'll wake up one morning and I'll hate my life, that my life won't mean anything. Or that one day, when I'm old and gray, I'll look back and there'll be no value in my life, that I'll have lived my life for nothing, really. And so, because I'm so scared of living a meaningless life, for many years, I pursued meaning. But I thought that I would find meaning in adventure. I thought that adventure would fill my soul and give me what I was looking for. See, I read all these books and about all these adventurers, these mountain climbers, and I thought, wow, their lives are so exciting. If I can just live like they live, then I'll have meaning too. And so I did. For years, I pursued meaning and adventure. I climbed mountains, I skydived, I traveled, I raced bikes, I skied. You name it, and I did it. All in the name of filling my life with meaning. The irony, I guess, is that at the end of it all, I still didn't have meaning. I had adventure, but not meaning. I guess somehow I bought into a lie that adventure equaled meaning. And then, a couple years ago, I was down in Haiti on a medical missions trip, and I remember we were at a church service in this really run-down cement building, and people were worshiping, and I remember looking around the room and seeing in people's faces a need and a desire and a love for God that I had never experienced. I remember actually envying these people. Me, rich American, envying the poor. Wishing that somehow I could feel need and love and desire for God like they were expressing. See, I think I associated the world, my world, money, power, fame, stuff with meaning. Like that stuff would make me happy, would fill my life. But it doesn't ever really, does it? I mean, we get the iPod, and it's cool, but we're really no better off for it. And then we go to these poor countries like I did, and we see these people who have absolutely nothing. And we say, wow, these people are happier than I am, actually. How's that possible? See, I guess I've never, ever saw a relationship with Jesus as an exciting way to live. I never perceived Jesus as the one to fill my life with meaning and significance. I never believed that Jesus could satisfy these deep longings that I had within me. I guess I wanted it all. I just saw Jesus as like a way that I could get into heaven, like a ticket to eternal life. And I saw the world, the things that I was pursuing, as like my ticket to meaning and significance and the stuff to make my life worthwhile, to make my life valuable. And I thought I could have both, but you can't. You can't have both. See, a relationship with Jesus requires us to surrender and commit. Chad talked to us about how we come to the foot of the cross and die to ourselves. And that's what it requires. It requires us to let go of those things, to die to our desires, and move into a relationship with Jesus. But I wasn't willing to do that. And it took me years of pursuing these other things and realizing that they had nothing for me before I said, okay, God, fine, you take over. You're in control now. And I surrendered my life and I submitted to God. See, Matthew 6:24 talks about this. It talks how we can't serve two masters. we can't serve God and the world. You just can't. You can try, but you can't. Okay, because when we say, God, I want you, it means that we don't want the world anymore. We can't love God and love the world, even though we really want to. See, it's really hard to trust God with our life. It's really hard to say, God, you can have control of my life. It feels out of control. It feels so uncertain. Like, where is he going to take us? But the thing is, we can trust God. We can trust that the same God who created us wants the very, very best for us. In John 10:10, Jesus says, I have come that you may have life and life to the fullest. See, for a long time, I thought that a relationship with Jesus was just about life after death. It was my insurance card for when I died. But it's about so much more than that. It's about life here and now. Life today. See, Jesus, he created us and he knows what's best for us. And if we want to experience a deeply meaningful life, if we want our lives to have the greatest impact and the most significance, we'll only find that in a relationship with Jesus. And we can trust God. We can, but we have to choose that. Okay, nobody's ever going to make us commit our lives to Jesus. Here's where our adventure begins, though. It begins when we come to the foot of the cross and empty ourselves and fill ourselves with the person of Jesus. When we trust him and we say, I'm not sure what it looks like, God, but I trust you with my life. This is really, really hard, but we need to start wrestling with this. How do we do this? How do we come to this place where we're willing to just pour our lives out into the life that God has for us? Because I promise you, it's the best life there is for you. It's not that it's easy life, okay? God doesn't promise that this is easiest way, okay? It's not the most comfortable life, okay? God never says, trust me and everything will be comfortable. No, he says, trust me because I know what's best for you. It's so hard to grasp this idea that God has the best plan for our life. I mean, it makes sense to us, I think, but it's really hard to accept and to just trust with our lives. So every day, it takes a conscious decision. God, here today, in this moment, I'm going to live for you. Even though it's hard and I want to do these other things, I'm not going to. I'm going to submit myself to your plan for me. But we have to choose it every morning. And we're going to make mistakes sometimes. Some days we're going to mess up and we're going to have to come back to the cross and say, God, like, you're still the one for me. Please forgive me for the things I've done wrong, but I'm still living for you. I want to do better tomorrow. So I just ask you, who is it that you admire the most? Who is it in your life that you could say, oh, if I could only live the life they're living? What would it look like for us to step into that life that Jesus has for us? For us to just become completely alive in Jesus and totally pursue what he has for us. What would that look like?